College football 25 is an absolute beautiful masterclass of insanity in arcade footballness, and I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. I like every single second of it. But there's a player or a few crop of players who are just mutants out there. They've been terrorizing offline, online, dynasty, road to glory, anything in any place, space, in every single area in college football, and even real life college football. These players are breaking the game. So today we're going to talk about Mr. Nyck Harbor, a 6'5", 230-pound, almost Olympian who was out there for the Gamecocks. And like I said, 6'5" in the game, 99 speed, 99 acceleration, 99 strength. He was a tight end and defensive end back in gosh dang high school, man. This is a mutant in real life. So today we're going to talk about him in the game, how he terrorizes people. We're going to talk about him in real life, how he could terrorize people. And then we're going to slow it down and we're going to talk about South Carolina, their schedule, their outlook with having a goddamn Weapon X on their team. So let's get into it. Now, let's start off here smooth, quickly in a hurry. Now, kind of like I talked about, 99 speed, 6'5", 99 strength, big dog. I mean, you're not going to do a lot with a big body like this. Mr. Nyck Harbor is on a great team, especially for the game specifically. You got spectacles back there, whipping and flipping and dripping and dropping dots. By the way, was named in real life as a starter. We'll get to that as well. But you got spectacles out there, Mr. Sellers delivering them the rock. You got a decent running back, as it seems, in the video game. We're talking about the video game, son. Right now we're talking about the video game. You can put Mr. Nyck Harbor in all different types of places and spaces and things of that nature. I believe he's going to be the presumed #1 receiver with Mr. Leggett being gone. But South Carolina apparently just has a thing of just getting a bunch of freaky, big, thick, strong, fast wide receivers out there. And in the video game, it results into Nyck Harbor absolutely terrorizing people, terrorizing folks in every way, shape, form, or fashion. Like I said, online play, offline play. I'm afraid of this man. He's hot. Who designed that? Who was looking at? Now, I think you're right. Again, we're gonna get into some of the track numbers, the track speed, the fact that he was an Olympian. But like, how do you, in good faith, as a college football 25 editor, you make a 6'5" mutant creative player? I don't think you can even make this in Road to Glory. I don't think you can create a mutant like this. He's just a sophomore. You know, he had 12 receptions last year. 12 receptions. This is all on hype. He had 1 touchdown last year. Played in 5 games. Again, we're gonna get there. We're gonna get there. But golly, give him 94, 97 speed. Am I just tripping? First of all, I love the fact that he's like this because it makes it awesome and it makes the game phenomenal. It makes it pretty broken in a fun way, in an arcadey way. But I just don't know how they were going through their list and they saw Nyck Harbor 6'5", 230, 99 this, 99 that, 99 strength. We've talked about Nyck Harbor in the game. I mean, it's pretty obvious. A 6'5" terrorizer of terrorizing and destruction. A big bad dog. Put him in the rounds. He's pretty agile. He can do a lot of nasty things, and he's terrorized a lot of people and terrorized you, most likely. Now, talk about Nyck Harbor in real life. Now, as I've alluded to, Nyck Harbor is a complete speed demon at 6'5". Now, give you a little background on Mr. Harbor. He ran track. Like I said, I'm not joking when I said that he could have gone to the Olympics and competed. He decided to focus on football instead. I mean, he was one of the fastest players, not a fast player, one of the fastest people at 16 years old, going against 18-year-old people who were also like 20, 30 pounds lighter than him. That's just in the track. Now, in the football world, like I alluded to in high school, out there in Carroll High School, I believe he's from Maryland, Mr. Nyck Harbor. But I thought Carroll was out there in Georgia. But hey, I could be wrong. But Carroll wore that dang 7 on his back, and he played defensive end, obviously, because he was 6'5". Yeah, dog, you're gonna get on the defensive line. This is high school football, and he played tight end in goddamn high school. And the reason why I'm bringing this up before we allude back to his last year's stats is I want to give him a little. First of all, I want to make it seem how weird it is, the fact that he was a tight end running like he was running and built like he was built. And also to give him a little bail, because clearly he was. Let me get you the full skinniness, and I'm gonna talk about an athlete. I know talking about athlete with college football 25 is not good because the whole situation. But let's not talk about. He was an athlete, right? So in betweener guy. He's a 6'5", fast as a real track speed dude. You can put him in any position on the football field, and he's gonna make something happen. So I think when you go to look at him and the fact that he wasn't a breakout star in his freshman year, which why wasn't he? He was already that fast, that big, right? I think it's underlined in the fact that, and we're going to talk about these stats real quick because I was looking for these. I couldn't find them. But just as we go to the full transition, 82 route running, 83 hands, 89 looseness, 74 IQ, 94, 84 power, 98 quickness, 99 speed. A little bit ridiculous. So I really think that we can attribute some of the struggles and some of the facts and some of the small numbers. Nyck Harbor didn't have bad numbers last year. Again, he was a freshman. It's not a big deal. And he had Xavier Legette. He had a whole lot of weaponry around him out there. And again, he was just a freshman. But to describe the way, and as you can see, the way that his evolution as a player was, he was just a bigger than everybody player. He played tight end. I mean, he played tight end because he was just so big that he probably couldn't play wide receiver. He was playing defensive end. He was a big body type guy. I say all that to say that he's learning a new position, right? This is his first year ever. Last year was his first year ever being a wide receiver. He's a tight end. And you can see, if you watch some of the South Carolina games, I watched a little bit of his film, and looking specifically at him, watch Xavier Legette, and he's a big body. I think he's only 6'3", though, so, a few more inches, but he's a wide, big Southern South Carolina guy, cornbread eating some gun. And he kind of floats and flies around a little bit in a different way. But with Nyck Harbor, and this is a new day, new year, new way. So I'm not saying that his stats shouldn't be where they are on the game. I'm just saying that what I've seen in the past, you can see a little bit of stuff, not as much as the high school tape. The high school tape, you're like, oh yeah, this is just, there's a 6'5" dude on the team who's also fast, and coach just said go crazy, right? But when you look at it, as he transitions to do more wide receiver things, he's not looking as comfortable. I would like to see him improve on that, and I think he will improve on that. So I'm excited for that, and I'm excited for what that means for South Carolina. And as they say, you know what I'm saying? They've got themselves a schedule too. They've got themselves a schedule. So before we hop into their schedule, I want to say and have more of a prediction about Nyck Harbor in the game, and then give a prediction about Nyck Harbor in real life. So the first thing is, I think Nyck Harbor at the end of the day is going to go down as one of the most broken players in all of college football 25. And the reason why I say that and the way that I'm gauging that is really talking about what and what can't be nerfed, right? Let's talk about Quinshon Judkins. The thing about Quinshon Judkins was really the spin, right? He is a good back, a great back, but there's a lot of good backs in college football 25. There's a lot of good backs that can do a lot of the things that Quinshon can do. Not many had that the platinum spin and how it was broken at XYZ. So the fact that they took that away, it's not that Quinshon is still not a great running back. It's that was what made him broken. You cannot unbreak a 6'5", 99 speed, 99 acceleration player. I was like, is this like a golden ticket? I don't know if y'all see. I used to play, you know what I'm saying, Ultimate Team back in the day when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying, when I was a younger dumbler. They had something called what's it called? Golden tickets. He really reminds me of a golden ticket player, dog. Like, this is crazy. 6'5". You would make him in a lab. He's a mutant. I smacked the crap out of my mic. He's a scary individual, and I don't want to see him anyway in the place, any form, any factor. In real life, like I alluded to, and like I'll say, 12 receptions, 1 touchdown, a few yards. What was it, 100 yards? 125 yards. We can take a look at it again when we go look at and predict the schedule for South Carolina. I'm going to predict that he's going to be wide receiver number 2. And the only reason I say that is just body structure, right? I think the more that Nyck Harbor can settle into not just being a big time touchdown red zone threat, but also be someone that can be a security blanket for his new quarterback that's going to be taking over, and Mr. Sellers, who hey, people down there in South Carolina really seem to be behind Mr. Spectacles, and I like it. I like his what's it called? I like his gumption. I like his spunk. I like using him in the game. He's like 6'3", 250. They call him mini Cam Newton. He's got a little the aura. That's what the kids be calling it. They be calling it the aura. That's what that kid's got. But yeah, in real life, I think that if he can successfully do that, if he can successfully learn how to do the small things at wide receiver, I mean, we might be looking at a future Biletnikoff player just because of his build alone. And that's what I mean by being able to play that role. He's only a sophomore. I'm not saying that this is what's going to be defined. He's a 6'5", track, speed, top star. I'm saying that clearly he needs to settle in being a wide receiver. I say you take this year and do maybe some tight endy things. I'll say the offensive coordinator most likely needs to make sure he simplifies those routes and just get the ball in his hand. Get some end around. Treat him like Deebo Samuels, dog. Just get the ball in his hands. Make sure that he's able to put that 99 speed, that power, that all those things that God has given him that he can use to go against people and do it to the best of his ability. Because just on paper, just looking at the stats, just looking at the build, the body, and everything they got, in seems to be quarterback that seems to be able to sling it. I don't think you're going to be in a bad shape making sure that he gets a lot of touches. So as we finish that up, predictions of him in the game, I think he's going to be unstoppable, unbreakable. And then prediction in real life, I think he can develop to be a top receiver. How about instead of hiding the stats, I show you 16 per average. And so I don't think this is bad, to be honest with you. I think he's in the right situation. And it's clearly that their offensive coordinator wants to get this guy involved. And I don't know why you wouldn't want to get a 6'5" guy involved. I just think it's going to come down to really how he matures in the position and matures as a player. He's only a sophomore. So expecting him to go from only playing 5 games to then being the best receiver or one of the best receivers in the SEC, and understand, I think that he can do that, but I think that it's a tall task to ask for the kid, but I'm hoping that he proves me wrong and he does some big things. So let's talk about South Carolina as we wrap things up, the 2024 season. I'm not going to go too crazy here. Old Dominion at home. You're going to dog walk them. Hey, nice, easy, tuning up the band. We're going to have a good time. You're at Kentucky. You're at Kentucky. I think them boys got a few little new bells and whistles and things that I think that's a winnable game. I just don't think you win it this time. I think this is South Carolina team, new quote unquote quarterback, still a young guy, but he's been there. I believe he's a sophomore. I think a sophomore or a junior. So he's been with the team for a little bit. He's been cooking and bubbling for a second. So I don't think this is going to be a situation where it's a complete, we don't know what this team is, but at the same time, we don't know what this team is. This is going to be the first regime of Mr. Sellers, the first regime without Leggett, or this new era. I mean, obviously, anytime you have a quarterback turnover, it feels a little different. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So it's just going to be interesting to see that. They've missing some pieces, but I think they've got some pieces as well. And I think they did a decent job in the transfer portal. But at the same time, dog, these home games mean something in college football, son. So going out there in Kentucky, I know they might not be the dang lightning stormers that they could have been in the last few years before, because they're not a basketball team anymore. But still, I see that as a loss. LSU, that's a lost, dog. I mean, we ain't got to talk about it. Akron, at night, that's gonna be a nice W. We got 2 wins, 2 W's going into the bye week, going against Ole Miss. I think you got a chance. Again, you got a chance in these games. I just don't think you're gonna beat Ole Miss. I really don't think. I think they just reloaded in a good way. I think Lane Kiffin is on the brink of being on the hot seat, and I don't see them and Jackson Dart giving it up to South Carolina. I think that's going to be a good game, though. I think it's going to be again a winnable game. I'm just not going to put my money on it. You're going to get thrashed by Alabama. I apologize. I think you're going to win in Oklahoma. I'm a Texas fan. I'm not sure if you noticed that. So I'm not going to do anything else. Bye week, Texas A&M. I'm a Texas fan, but I also don't believe in Texas A&M. I don't care. You could show me $1 billion roster. I don't believe in Texas A&M. That's a W. W in Vanderbilt. Nice. 1, 2, 3, 4. You got 4 wins already. 4 wins already, and then you're going into a little bit of a slight. You know what I'm saying? Missouri's gonna slaughter you. I mean, if Burton is healthy and he's playing like he's been healthy, playing a Blitnikoff level player, you know what I'm saying? Wofford, that's a W, my guy. You could shock Clemson, but you're not gonna shock Clemson. That's 5 wins on the season. I think Nyck has a nice breakout year, though. I think Sellers catches a groove. I think these are going to be some good games. I don't think South Carolina is going to be one of those teams that is going to get steamrolled. But if you've been watching college football enough, you also know that there are a lot of teams that are great that end up with only 5 wins, 4 wins. And college football is a crazy landscape, so it's not shocking to see something like that. So I'm excited. I'm excited for Nyck Harbor. I'm excited for the Gamecocks, see what they can get after. Hey. You be amazing. You be blessed. Let me know if you like this more college football centered stuff. I can't just sit around and yell at a video game all day and just complain about EA. EA is going to be EA, but this beautiful game of college football, man, we can talk about it all day and all night. But you be amazing. You be blessed. You be beautiful. We'll see you next time.